Hey everyone, again we are back with the same chapter, direct and inverse proportion, and in the first video we have completed with variation and direct proportion part. In this video we are going to deal with inverse proportion. So let us start with inverse proportion. So in inverse proportion, let's first understand what do you mean by inverse proportion. So two quantities are inversely proportional if an increase in one quantity corresponds to the constant decrease in the other quantity, or if a decrease in one quantity corresponds to a constant increase in the other quantity. So let us understand this in a very simple word, that if suppose you have x and y, and if x will increase then y will decrease, and if x will decrease y will increase. That means increment of the first one will result in the decrement of the second one, or the decrement of the first one will result to the increment of the second one. As you can saw this seesaw, that if this boy or the girl is there, if suppose one person will go up, the other will go down, and one will go down, then the other will go up. So this is, we can see that increment of one, or the height of one will increase, then the height of the other will go down. So now again the same thing I've given here, increment will decrement of the other, and decrement of the one, increment of the other. So that means they are actually opposite. The quantities which will be given here are opposite of each other. So some examples here are given as, the more number of men will be there, then the less number of days they will take to complete the work. And the more speed if somebody will drive, then the distance cover will be taken in less duration. The more vehicles on the road, less space in the road, and less time per day, the more days it will take to complete the work. Some of the examples are given here for the daily life. Now just let us see this. When we say that x and y are inversely proportional, so we can write this as something like this: y is inversely proportional to 1 by x, or you can write this as x is inversely proportional to 1 by y. And now we have to remove this sign of proportionality. Just see, this one is given. So when we will remove this sign of proportionality, we will write something as equals to, and some quantity we are going to multiply. So let us take that quantity as k. This k is nothing but proportionality constant here. So we can see that x by y is equals to k, and k here is constant of proportionality, or proportionality constant. That means when we say that two quantities are inversely proportional to each other, then we can say that x multiply y, or the product of both the quantities, will be same. So let us see some more examples, and then you will understand it in more clear ways. So let us see the first example. The question is, observe the table given below in each one and find whether x and y are inversely proportional or not. So here basically we need to show whether x and y are inversely proportional or not. So as I told you in the last one only, x by y should be equals to k. So we need to check that when you're going to multiply all these, we are getting the same value or not. So let us multiply 6, 9, 10, 15, 14, 21, 16, 24. As we can see, this will be 6 nines of 54. This is 150. This is something else. We are not multiplying. Now just consider the first two only. They are not equal. You can multiply these two and check also. This is also not equals to 150. Obviously, we can see that the values are keep on increasing. And since the first two are also not equal, we can say that x and y are not inversely proportional, because the product of these two, and these two are not equal. So that means in the first question, x and y are not inversely proportional. Let us see the next question now. So this is my second question now. Now again for this question also we need to check whether x and y are inversely proportional or not. So let us find out the product of these two, and these two, and check whether they are equal or not. So 18 fives are 90, 9 tens are 90, 15 sixes are 90, 3 30s are 90, and 45 twos are 90. So that means all the products are same and they are equals to 90, which is same or fixed or constant, you can see. So since the product of all xy here is same, that means x and y for this question is inversely proportional to each other. So now let us solve one word problem which is based on the concept of inversely proportional. So here the question is, if 35 men can reap a field in 8 days, how many days can 20 men reap the same field? Now just see here two things they are talking about. They are talking about number of men and the days taken by this, and we need to find out how many days it will take. So just see, if more number of men are there, the less days it will take to complete the reaping part, because they are talking about the same field. So the work is fixed. So if 35 men can complete that work in 8 days, so if 20 men will be there, so obviously they will take more number of days. So if the number of men are decreasing, the number of days are increasing. And if the number of men will increase, the days will decrease. So that means the number of men and the number of days here are inversely proportional to each other. So the very first part is in how many days they can reap the field. So let the required number of days be x. So the two quantities here are number of days and number of men. So in the first part, 35 men are there and days are 8, so 8 days and 35 men. For the second one, we have taken the days as x and the men's are 20, so x by 20. Now as I have told you, x multiplied by is equals to k. So this is the rule we are going to apply here, because they are inversely proportional to each other. So as we know that less men will take more days to reap the field. So this is the case of inversely proportional. So this implies that 8 multiplied with 35 will be equals to x multiplied with 20, as you can see here in this slide. Now if I need to find out the value of this, so what we can, x will be equals to 8 multiplied 35 divided by 20. So 4 2s are 8, 4 5s are 20, 5 1s are 5, 5 7s are, so 7 2s are 14. So that means when 20 men will be there, they can take 14 days to reap the same field. Now with this, we have completed the second part of this chapter, that is inversely proportional. Thank you.